Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Chen Design. I would like to show you today is from a question from my YouTube subscriber asked me how to design a baby feet ring, and there's a lot of design online you can use as a reference, but I would like to use some simple command to show you how to get really organic foam. Are you ready? Let's get started. We are going to start at the front view, and let's go ahead to draw a ring shank for 16 millimeter in diameter. And we can design anywhere on the top view, so you can either trace from online image or you can go ahead to create your own version. So I'm going to quickly to draw something I think the baby feet should look like. All right, and well, everybody have a different style here just for the tutorial, so they may not be realistic, but well, this is my style. Okay, so with this one we are going to try to make it into a solid. As you can see, it's completely curved, right? If you go ahead to use the under the solid, you have the extruded planar curve. You can actually make it a thickness and try to giving a big radius and see how it works. We are not gonna go with this way, but I just want to show you, there's other option you can do it here. So what I like to do is actually create the cross section in the middle. We can use the ellipse tool to use the ellipse tool or something like this, and to snapping into the intersection and giving some sort of the profile like this, so the baby feet will look really rounded. Okay, so let's do a test. I'm going to split that into somewhere in the middle and somewhere in the middle here. So now I have two rails, and let's go ahead to use the surface sweep 1 and 2, and from the point of right here at the end point, cross section and go into the end point one more time. All right, so now we get something like this. All right, now if this is kind of too thick to you, then you can always kind of 1D scale down if you like to. All right, or another way we actually wanted to do, and you can see from my design right here, my baby feet is not just really smooth. It actually, you have a bump about right at this area, and also where on the heel is a little bit bump there. So what we like to do to achieve that goal there, we can kind of edit this guy right here. The command I'm going to do is called cage edit, and then we're gonna pick up a bounding box right here, because we need to have more point about right at this point and where the heel is. So we will need to have a lot more point for the y-axis, and x-axis we may just need to have 4 or maybe 4 point or 6 point. So let me go ahead to change the x into, let's do it 5. And let's change y to 10, and we can keep the z to 4, and let's hit enter. Now you have all this point that you can edit. I'm going to pick up, gonna turn on the wireframe, and I'm going to pick up about right here, and make sure you don't want to pick up the things on the bottom. We just want to edit the top. All right, so we can use the gumball to pull this up. All right, we can also say maybe that is too maybe it's too bumpy at the bottom. We want the bottom to be not as bumpy. Okay, and right at this area, we want it to go in a little bit, and we want to go lower. Sorry. we want to go lower right there. Okay, and right at the heel we have those points, and I want those points, not picking on the bottom, those points to be bumped just a little bit, maybe coming out a little bit as well. All right, so you can do your own editing until that, you know, whatever that worked better for you. Maybe this is way too bump. I want everybody go a little bit lower. So this is how I edit and drag the point to make them into more of an organic form. Okay, so once you have achieved any of the form that you like, you're going to do the rest of it. On the top of it, I'm just gonna use the sphere and kind of eyeball it into where I like it and tilt it in the angle, so I can use the gumball to drag them. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit so you don't have to, you know, watch me do the same thing, but basically I'm going to arrange all 5 tall here right now. Alright, so let's take a look on the all 4 view and see how they look. This might be too tall, and again you kind of see I make it really thick is because once I flow it back I will need to trim the bottom to be flat so it will fit into the ring better. Okay, let's go ahead to bowling unit all top 5. And because if you look at the let's turn on the render view. If you look at this all the corner might cause casting issues, so make sure you don't want to have that kind of a corner before you bowling. So I'm gonna go back one more step and bring those two a little bit lower so I can avoid that corner. Or what I can do is I can bring this one in a little bit. Either way will work. Okay, so just need to make sure that you don't have that tiny gap over there. I might need to come up a little bit more. All right, so let's go ahead to bowling all those, and I do want to make it look smoother, so let's go ahead to fit it at edges. Let's do 0.1 and see how it works. All right, it looks okay there, so I'm gonna use the 0.1 for all of them. 0.1 and also 0.1 here. All right, so now once they look okay, and take a look and see if that is what you want, and go ahead to bowling if that is what you want. So let's go ahead, bowling unit. So now I have the feet ready, and that's one of it, and that's flat, right? So we need to somehow arrange on top of it. So let's go ahead to create a reference surface. Let's go ahead to use the surface, and you have extruded surface straight. It doesn't matter how big of it, we just need to know, you know, the area we're going to flow it back. The command you're going to use is create UV curve. Now we have this UV curve here. We want to move the feet on top of it and kind of tilt it into the angle that you like. All right, so I'm gonna put it right there. All right, we want to know the size that we like to have, but you can also adjust later on, so you don't have to worry if it is not super fit for the first time. You may want to confirm is the feet, the height of it. All right, so whatever below, let's go look at the front view. Whatever below this surface that we have, it's going to be trimmed off. Okay, that's the only things for sure. You need to make sure how thick you want to keep it there. Okay, let's go ahead to make it into the surface. So we are going to use the command to flow it back. Before we do that, we need to record the history, and let's go to the transform, flow along the surface. Let's pick up the feet click on one of the corner and click on the target corner on the surface. The reason the feet is over there is because this is the seam which is at 3 o'clock, you know, in this orientation. So all we need to do is move the seam to the bottom, so the feet will go with it. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to make sure that that is where the design is going to be. You can move a little bit here to see if that work better for you, or you want to rotate it a little bit. So kind of do your own edit to see what angle do you like. All right, so that's it. This is the angle that I like. I no longer need this one. It will say it will break the history. That's okay. And then I wanted to go to the top view. Let's go ahead to mirror this to the other side. And we might need to do twice, so that way it will completely touching there. All right, so the rest of it is to design a shank. I'm going to go to the right view, and I'm gonna start with something just really simple. Let's go to the rectangular tool, and you have this conic corner, and we can have something like really thin first, like this. And I want to move this one back to the center. All right, so that's that one. And then I'm gonna go into the front view and use the rotate tool and make sure copy equal yes. We want to rotate the profile we just create into somewhere inside of that feet, and you can see it's right there. So let's take a look on the perspective. You can see it's right there. So I'm gonna make it wider, but I don't want it to stick it out, as you can see over there. So I'm gonna do the 1D scale, snapping into the midpoint of the bottom, or quadrant to the bottom and quadrant, and try to bring in a little bit so that is inside of the form. Okay, now that one is done. I'm going to also to rotate it one more time and copy equal yes, and this time I wanted something like this. All right, and make it slightly wider. So somewhere in between there. So let's take a look on the surface. Going to sweep one rail, and we're gonna have here to here to here, and take a look and see how they look first. All right, so it looked like in the middle part is still too fat, so I'm gonna bring in a little bit. Okay, so now let's go ahead to use the surface, sweep one, and you can always turn on the record history, surface, sweep one, and this is the rail, this is the cross section from here to here to here. Make sure they all align. I personally like them to align into inside of the ring shank. And take a look on this and see if that is what you want. All right, if you feel like in the middle part I still like it to be thinner, you can edit at this point because we have a history record. And the bottom one, if you want it to be wider or thinner, you can also edit again one more time there. Okay, now if this is what you like, go ahead to mirror the other half over there, and this at the same time try to join them, and then try to cap it. It will say you lose the history, that's okay, and let's use the command cap. So now this is solid and those two are solid. All we can do is try to bowling, and that will be the baby feet ring. I hope you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment below. Let me know how you do, and if you do it successfully or you have other questions, leave the comment below and I'll try to make a video for you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next Monday.